Coach Weaver here again, helping you become a better leader. We're continuing on with our best practice series, and today we're on number 11 and talking about what I call strategic timeouts. If you're a sports fan of any kind, you'll know that every good sports coach knows the importance of judgment when calling a timeout. Applied at just the right time, they create a strategic flash that can turn the tide of any game, effectively interrupting the flow of the opposing team or disrupting the momentum. The timeouts are also used to refocus their own resources, their own team, and to gather in the emotions that might be out there, and also galvanize the energy that they need to move forward in a more intelligent manner. Well, calling a timeout in your business creates the same effect. We get so hectic in our work schedules these days that many people don't believe in taking a timeout or don't think about taking a timeout. And that's why we have to be strategic about it and plan it out so that it happens. But if you are one of those non-believers that don't believe that it's really productive and helpful, I want to tell you about a couple studies that have shown different results. The first one is a study that is called the Research Curve, How to Manage Focus and Collaborative Time by author Pierre Hawan. And he basically calls strategic timeouts the ideal strategy to accelerate performance. And after a decade of research, he found the best results were achieved after 40 minutes of focused time followed by 20 minutes of collaboration. Now, in his cases in his study, the collaboration served basically as a timeout. It was a time for the workers to discuss their progress, to compare notes, and just to reset before the next period of time when they were trying to be highly productive. Another study done by Tony Schwartz, and he discovered that accelerated performance benefits come from what he calls the 90-minute solution. And through his research, he discovered that the human body naturally has this cycle of 90-20. That is, our bodies are hardwired to pulse. To operate at our best, we need to renew our energy every 90 minutes. Not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally. When we build this rhythm into our lives, we are actually tapping into what our bodies are already naturally geared to do, and it changes everything. And so the best leaders use this knowledge to structure ways to give themselves a strategic timeout every 90 minutes or so. So, for example, I had a client who was a personal injury attorney, and to make sure that he got all the work done on his cases, he scheduled 1 or 2 killer days a week to work on his cases without taking breaks or interruptions, just trying to stay really focused and work hard, laborious days those days. Well, one, you can imagine, he came to dread those days, hence the nickname Killer Days. But also, as we restructured his day, he realized that he had not really been that productive. And he was far more creative and able to focus when we restructured it so that we gave him timeouts and structured it where he had 90 minutes of work and then had a reset time to either go do something else, to work on something else, or take a walk, whatever the reset was, and then do a 90-minute session again of writing briefs, working on research, whatever it was to work on his cases. And so that's just one example, but there's tons of examples out there where these breaks can be helpful. Timeouts can also help you clear your head and see problems from a different perspective and see new solutions to problems. For this reason, with my clients, I recommend that they actually take a longer strategic timeout once a quarter, where they get away from the hustle and bustle and have time just to think more about objectives, about goals, about the direction they're going in, and their vision that they have for them and for their employees. Another key aspect of these timeouts is to keep a journal. Many great ideas and sound direction have been achieved through strategic timeouts, but many of those ideas have also been lost or forgotten. And it's great to capture these insights that often come with the strategic timeouts in a notebook or journal. You may not be able to get to all of them right away. You may have a great idea that you have to put some other things in place for first, and you're not going to get to that idea for 3 or 4 months or however long. By keeping them in a notebook, you can refer back to them when you're stuck, when you're taking a strategic timeout in the future, or when needing to just have a different approach to things to move forward and progress. Lastly, there are health benefits to timeouts as well. Workplace burnout is a very real thing. We start out in a job and a career with a lot of passion and commitment, but we don't always take care of ourselves. We get worn down, we get demotivated, we get stressed, and worst of all, it leads to health problems. Statistics show that these health-related problems related to workplace burnout increase every year, and even a short 10-minute timeout just to meditate has been shown to reduce stress and blood pressure and increase a positive mood and have positive effects on our health. So great leaders are not afraid to call a strategic timeout for themselves or for their employees. Just like that great sports coach, they learn the importance of it and the value of it, and they use it to their benefit. And until next time, best success.